We're here with Alex and Matthew with Building the Dream Duluth, and we're with Pinnacle Pointe Studios. My name is Victor, this is Anthony, and we are representing the most poppin' and hottest recording studio in Duluth right now.
Pinnacle Pointe Studios!
You're listening to Building the Dream, a show that inspires people to explore business, entrepreneurship, and professional development. I'm Matt Lambert.
And I'm Alex Kazitsa, and we're sitting down with business professionals and entrepreneurs to talk about their journeys, the lessons they've learned, and how they're building their dream. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Matt and Alex from Building the Dream Duluth. We are here with Anthony and Victor. They're the co-founders of Pinnacle Pointe Studios. I'm super excited about this interview. We met Victor originally at our first networking event at ACES, and we are just now getting around to filming the interview. But as you can see, we're all set up with all their gear in the recording studio, so this is a super cool experience. Why don't you guys each start us off with an interesting fact about yourself?
All right,
Well, I'll go. For me, I played the drums since 14. I've always been passionate about music. So I started actually at a ministry out in West Duluth that's actually right next to the OMC Steakhouse. Used to be a small ministry there, and the pastor was in a band for a long period of time, and he actually taught me how to play drums. So I've played drums since I was 14 years old.
Oh, cool. So everything audio. Yeah, everything to do with your ear. Yeah, you should add.
Was it always music on the drums, or was it just noise for a while?
It was music. He was a very talented drummer. Played in multiple bands, both secular and Christian. So I learned a lot from him. He's a very talented musician. So.
So I'm Anthony Miller. People know me as the mattress man here in town in Duluth here. And so a lot of people don't know that I'm actually love music. That's my thing. So I guess that's a big interesting fact for me.
That also fits right in, man. So let's talk about the beginning. What got you guys into recording and music production? How'd you get started?
So we both got started at different times doing different things. We connected together about, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago. We were talking about this. Yep. And we both had our life things going on at that time. Mm-hmm. So we didn't get to do what we wanted to do at that time, and some time went on. And for me, it's always been a love, in love with music. I born in Chicago, came here when I was probably 13, 11, 12, somewhere around there. Went to high school here, went to Vegas. I was working at Dre's After Hours for some years there. And I got to meet so many musicians, artists, talent, all the way to UFC fighters, whatever it was. And so I was always around music. It was always my thing. And that vibe, I always liked that LA, that Vegas, that New York vibe all at the same time. And so over time, the last, about a year ago, a little over a year ago, we were talking about this earlier. We started building it. We started saving some money, putting stuff together, putting an idea together, put the vibe together, and wanted to bring that here to Duluth because this is where I live at. So that's kind of my story for me.
Yeah, and I've always been into music. I opened up my first music studio in Superior, Wisconsin in 2006, I believe. That was the first time we actually did something over there. I linked up with a few local guys. We started a studio, and then we had they came to me with their record label, so we were doing stuff with them. And then I moved back over to Duluth, and I actually ran a studio out of my apartment. It was actually really nice. It was in one room, and everybody would come in there was like they didn't expect that because it was a really nice space. So I had people coming from even down in the cities and the range, and they would come down and record with me. And I've always had a passion for music. So.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. If you set up a studio in your apartment,
you
do it.
I love that hustler mentality.
Yeah, I had almost $40,000 worth of stuff packed into one space. Like people walked in there, and we had its own booth. We had a little tracking area, and it was a really nice space. We obviously needed it to move it out of there because it was just an apartment. The goal was to get it into a space. The timing just wasn't right,
So, Victor, you had previously mentioned that you came from Las Vegas or Nevada here. Why?
Well, my mother had some family in Minnesota, and she wanted to get me out of that element. She wanted to come to just a better space, a better place for her son. She settled on Duluth. It was kind of a journey. We traveled a lot, and she came up here, and it worked out really good because I always felt like Duluth was like more of a home to me than Vegas. But Vegas is my hometown, and I think that's why me and him connect, because I'm from that place, and he also worked out there, and we just kind of got the same vibe, the same vision, and I think it really all worked out.
That was a big part of every conversation we had. It was like the same. It's like, hey, I want to do that. He's like, I want to do that too. I'm like, I want to do that too. I'm like, man, let's just connect and let's do something. Let's just do something.
How did you guys originally meet up then? Did you meet in Vegas or not till you got back here?
I met him in Duluth.
We met at Duluth. It's kind of a funny story how this relationship works out, but our moms
are like best friends.
Our best friends for a long time, a really long time, and then we just kind of connect, kind of just talking like we're not just kind of like, hey, how you doing? Like when I first met, like, hey, what's up? I'm Tony, this and that. What you do, miss? Okay, I love music, and then we kind of go on. We kind of talk about. Like I said, this has been a process. I mean, this has been a 5-year process, and the biggest thing was to connect with each other. That was the biggest thing, because I meet so many people just like you guys do, and everybody else, and this and that. You have connections with certain people. There's not everybody you might not want to work with either at the same time. There's some people you want to work with, but you got the vibe at the same time, especially when you're doing business with each other. You got to have a really good connection, and I felt our connection was really, really good, and that's why we stumped on the concrete, got the concrete wet, and ran with it.
Yeah, and transparency was always key too. It was always upfront, always discussion, communication is a key with any relationship, business relationship or otherwise. So we wanted to really put something on for the community too, and put the city on and do something for the Midwest and pretty much any musician that's out there anywhere in the world that's looking to do something. We want to work with people. We want to inspire people through music, and have a space where people can come and actually do that stuff too. And
among other things, and when we got this, we had a vision for just the music and recording and things like that. And right away, before we even opened, we had all these other people contacting us. Hey, can you do this? Can you do this? And we were like, well, yeah, we can. We can. Yeah. And so now we're doing we've been doing so much, but like he said, the biggest thing, how we started this, we thought about the community. How can we take all the talent around here, try to connect some of these guys, some of the guys that don't have access to a studio, and very inexpensive rates also too. It does cost money to rent a facility, but we keep our rates nice and low, so then people come. We just had a lady and her daughter just come in just recently, record a song. They never recorded one. They wanted one. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was less than $100.
Yeah, I mean, we got it on. We work with pretty much. Try to work with all budgets, and again, like I was saying earlier, like a lot of musicians have talent and have experience in recording and mixing themselves, but again, that can take away from the creative aspect of what they're trying to do, and just being in a space. We have on-site beat producer Josh Brown is very talented. We have another engineer we're working with, and we also have that vibe where people can come and also share their ideas, get constructive criticism, feedback on how to improve their songs, and just overall marketing to get their music heard.
Gotcha.
That's about it. Be heard and connect with other people. So one guy could be here doing his thing, all of a sudden we got another, another engineer or beat producer comes in, or another artist, they come in, and all of a sudden they're collaborating now. They would never ever been able to collaborate they never met. They would never met. And so we love that. We just keep going. We keep going with that energy.
Absolutely. And I don't even know what this would consist of. So what is all involved in starting a recording studio? Like, it doesn't just show up.
Yes, there's a lot of time. We spent a lot of energy of research. Equipment is another big thing in this industry.
I can imagine looking at everything on the table.
Yeah, and not just this. This is just a podcast system. This is actually the newest system that's out right now. We waited months on back order for this and the mics, but stuff like this. it works miracles. It cuts down before for a podcast system like this. You got to have all this separate equipment. I mean, this room would be completely filled with all kinds of stuff and people running this stuff. And now we could run it with one person.
Yeah, it's nice too that, you know, if you want to take call-ins, you know, you can do Skype calls, you can do Bluetooth, you can have people call in, and it's everything combined into one.
And that's new. That's a 2019 item. So that shows you the difference from 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, and now, you know. And so that makes a huge difference in getting product there real quickly, efficient, and to get on to the next project, you know. So that's a big deal.
Yeah, and just building a team too. Building a team, that's a big thing. You know, building people that are passionate and wanting to do the same thing you want to do as far as music and getting people's stuff heard. So that's the thing when I was doing this by myself. It could be definitely overwhelming. It's good to have a good team of people around you.
Yeah, you get everybody rowing in the right direction.
Yeah,
you can move mountains. So
yeah.
So how'd you guys decide on the space then to house this operation?
Yeah.
Well, we were
apartments.
looking around, and that was another big part is getting the space right. You know, trying to find a space that you weren't bothering neighbors, that you're you know, the location. We wanted to kind of be incognito too, as well our location. I only live a half a block from here, so it's nice. I can just walk over here. That's, you know, that's a nice feature, and it's a nice space for what we're trying to do for now. You know, it's definitely something that. It's been good to us, and we've done a lot of projects here, and it's been good. It's been really good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh no, we did projects here, and we also do a lot of projects outside of the house too.
Oh, yeah.
So we're kind of a mobile station also too at the same time.
We just did the Catalyst Content Festival, and that was a wonderful experience. Just awesome. It's all about connecting. It's all about networking and meeting people. We always hear about social media, you know, online stuff, which is good. You need that presence, but those in-face, person-to-person connections, I think they're even more stronger now because everybody's so into their phones and talking and texting. But when you make those real connections with somebody, I feel like when you hit it off with somebody, you're talking and you're vibing out. It's a very powerful thing that people sometimes they underestimate.
Yeah, and I want to add a note to that, and we're really blessed to be part of the Catalyst. That was
it was a very good blessing for us.
Yeah, it was really nice, you know, to get involved in there within 6 months. We even had executive producers. They were like, "Wow, you guys got this far in 6 months," you know, and for us that hit the heart of we're going our right direction, and they give us a lot of tips and this and that. And I wouldn't even see myself in a room with a lot of these guys if I in Duluth. You know, if I was in Vegas, LA, New York, maybe I could, you know, might have come across some of these guys. But we came across all these guys in 1 week in Duluth, Minnesota. So I mean, just for the city, that's really big, and then for our studio, that was just huge. You know, so it was really nice. So shout out to the Catalyst too.
Yeah, shout out to them. It was great. We're very thankful for the opportunity.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And that's one thing that we want to talk about too. Let's talk about like the Duluth music scene. What's the music scene like in Duluth? You know, what kind of artists are you having coming to record?
Yeah, we're doing we do quite a bit of solo artists. We have a band coming in. Winning Isn't Everything. We've been working with them. Very talented band. We're doing a seven song EP with them. They just released a single with us recently. And then we work with a lot of hip hop, R&B solo artists, but we also are getting into podcasts and also into possible video sound staging too is another thing.
Yeah, so that's a lot. And so the night scene is different is different for me. Here, like I said, coming from Vegas and everything like that, and we all know how the night scene is here. So you might not catch me at a bar here, you know, maybe here and there, but that's why I'm doing the studio, because that's, you know, one of my next goals is to change the scene, the nightclub scene a little bit more classy. I'm looking for more grown and sexy, you know, kind of deal where I felt comfortable taking my wife, listen to some good music, have some good food, you know, kind of bottle service style, this and that, and so this little things like this I think help paves the way for other people to see that and jump on board with that and say, you know what, let's try that out, you know, kind of deal. So but yeah, so the nightclub scene, I couldn't tell you much about about that. Around
Yeah.
here.
And just real quick, I think the local music scene has come leaps and bounds, and I feel like there's a lot of history with Bob Dylan and Trampled by Turtles, and there's a lot of great musicians that are here, and again we try doing this for the community too, and try to really help people get their music heard and build a fan base, and just put those people on the map so they can shine, and their fan base can also be heard and found.
And that's huge. So that's what we do. Besides this, you see what we're doing here. We're constantly out looking at venues. You know, we're out looking at venues even today. And we're constantly, because we're trying to find that right venue for somebody to work with everybody, you know, so they get their name out there, get heard even more. You know, of course there's great guys out there that play at these bars. Even we got our producer Brown and White. You know, they played a lot of venues and this and that, but we're looking for something that's bigger, something that's even just a tad bigger, and get people to show up. You know, so it's all about connecting and finding out the right vibe to make it happen.
I gotcha. So what do you guys do on a daily basis then to reach these goals of getting people heard and distributing music?
Well, I mean, there's several different ways to help target your audience. Sometimes people, you know, they want to market it to everybody, but you also have to look at your resources. You know, like how do you target people? How do you create content that people are willing to engage in without being spammy? Because that's the thing, like we were talking about earlier. A lot of people they constantly throw their stuff in people's faces, and it just becomes like, again, it becomes digitally assaulting people without making those connections. And people like the stuff that they can relate to and they can connect to, and they like the behind the scenes stuff. How do you target people with Facebook ads, and how do you go out of your way to make the effort to be like, hey, I'm a musician, and go out of your way to relate to people, and I think that's something that we can help people with, getting their stuff heard, get their stuff marketed correctly. You know, through video, audio, behind the scenes, building a fan base. Don't forsake email, because a lot of people do. There's so many different ways that you can build on that, and there's different sales techniques and different things where you don't come across as spammy. Where you're trying, again, this is still a business, but at the same time you're also connecting with people like we've been doing, and that's a big thing, is connecting with people. That's a big thing, connecting to people through your music.
And we try to teach. I like to tell a story if I can on record. Sometimes it's kind of hard, and so I make it real simple when I'm telling people this too. Just exactly what Victor just said. I say, imagine this. Imagine you got your house. You live in there for 20 years. Your house next door just sold. Somebody just moved in. You meet him. Do you go over there right away and try to sell him something that first day? He doesn't. He doesn't know. He does. They don't know. They don't know you. Because Facebook, whatever. They don't care. They have no idea. But what if they first moved in? The first day they go in, you see them, you just wave. Then a week go past. The next time you wave and say hi. A month go past or whatnot. They're out barbecuing. You might say, oh, it smells good out there. Hey, what's your name? Bob? Tom? Okay, cool. We kind of know each other now. 2 months, 3 months go past. Hey, you know what? You want to barbecue together? Boom. Now there's a connection, and now it's worth more something, And it's about your character too. Your character plays a big part of that. People want to see that first before you just pump it out, and we see that all the time.
And just planning too. I mean, if you look at major labels, they take 3 to 6 months to put out singles or albums, and not rush and just put all your content, to build some kind of anticipation. And again, there's so many different ways you can do that. But again, like he was saying, like it's about your character, but it's about the artist. Again, telling a story, a journey, and then connecting with people.
Connections is still going to be a big key. You can talk to a $1 million man guy, a guy in the big artist industry. They're going to tell you connections real good. You can still be real good at something, but it's going to be a lot harder if you got no connections.
Right. You can't do it all yourself.
It's simple math. Simple math.
Yep.
It's all about nurturing that fan base.
Yep.
So between you guys, who does what for Pinnacle Pointe? What are each of your roles, and what do you guys do to help grow?
So we both do our mixture of things, and Victor, he does probably a lot with the marketing side of it,
Okay.
The music side of it. We get a lot of emails, we get a lot of messages that come in, so we got to keep all that. We do a lot of that stuff ourselves right now. And then I'm more of a networking guy also, but we kind of both. It's hard to say that because we both do huge networking. That's the thing. So I guess he mostly does most of the music side. I'm more on the business side. We could probably say that more or less, you know. But we operate everything together. But like anything that goes to me, it goes through him. Anything that goes to him goes through me. So it's kind of like we really work together as a team. And then the people we work with them a team. We put them involved in our situations also too. So we make sure everybody's involved. So when it comes to the roles, we kind of just feed off each other. We really do. And so I don't think we set ourselves as set roles, but he is considered a head engineer. So everything runs through him. So like, and I'm more of an executive producer where I clear the stuff. And so, but we work together on everything in here. And some of our teammates, they also impart a big part of this because that's the whole part of this. That's the whole point is connection. And we do events together. We do everything together. We do a lot. But when it comes to mixing, mastering, you're going to see Victor's name on that. That's what he does. That's what he's good at. That's what he does. That's why people come here. So you got to understand that. That's, you know, so that's a big part of it, especially being known. Like he's been doing it for realistically, 20 years?
Yeah, about 20 years in audio.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So you got a guy that's 20 years audio right on the side of me right here.
Yeah, and then of course our team too. We have a credible team here. We got Brent, we got Josh. You know, we're always working with people to expand too because it's a lot. We've got a lot of projects that have come in, and it's been nothing but blessings. And I'm always humble and grateful for everything.
So yeah, we do a little everything. Like last week I was opening doors for people.
Yeah.
Downtown.
Yeah.
You know, and you know that was at the Catalyst event. So
okay.
what else we were doing? I mean, we do it all. It doesn't.
Yeah.
You call us up.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen because it's a connection for us and it's a connection for them, and we're working together to build a relationship down the road.
Yeah.
You know.
So this helps segue into my next question. I was going to ask that with the influx of consumer audio equipment that's now more obtainable, better budget price, and the ability to learn just about anything online, what sets apart a recording studio and why should people come to you guys?
Again, it goes back to experience, both the experience of the studio and experience of the engineers, and just connecting also with people and coming to a space that's comfortable, that has that vibe, the professionalism. Again, we were talking about earlier several times about a lot of people can go look this stuff up, but just because you look at a YouTube video or you mixed a song of yours, 15 years ago, that doesn't make you a pro engineer. There's a lot of different things that go into mixing, not only mixing, how to master your music, which is another part of the audio world that's kind of it's almost something that people don't really understand about mastering. Is another aspect of the mixing, and then also proper recording of the room, the proper space, and then again, how do you, once you get a good product, how do you market that? How do you connect with people? And again, I think that a lot of people come to us, and even me in the past, that had these skills at a decent level, but they were like, look, we just want to come and make music. We don't want to have to learn how to EQ everything, learning the frequencies, all this other stuff. What is a compressor? What is this? What is that? There's so much stuff that goes into that, and it can take away from artists' creative ability. So,
and there's no way to get 20 years of experience from a 35-minute YouTube video.
Exactly.
You don't get to experience the issues or problems that you might that might come up.
And everybody's good at their music. Everybody's good, but there's always a way to tweak it to and make it better. Mm-hmm. And that's another big step too, a milestone for this area, I believe too. We got so much artists, and then from what we've seen and this and that, we try to help people switch it up a little bit, more mainstream. There's a lot of stuff that I love. There's a great music around here, but it's stuff that you would never hear on the radio. You would never do, but that's that person's goal. So that's where I come in and say, well, it sounds good, but hey, what if we did this? This might be more mainstream. You might get more ears listening to it. This might be more the direction you want. You know, because there's also underground music. People don't want to be known; they just want to make music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's two. So there's also that there too. So that comes in play. So there's a lot of little things that come in play.
Well, and once again, I'm sure these artists, they want to focus on what they're good at. They want to focus
Yes.
on making their music.
Yep.
They don't want the headache of dealing with all the audio equipment as well as the expense.
Yeah, the
Yes.
expense as well. I mean, again, you know, even 30 years ago, you wouldn't be able to do some of the stuff we are able to do. There, you know, but I feel like still gear does make somewhat of a difference. I mean, if you have a decent mic and an interface and a laptop, you know, some people can use that to their advantage. But some of them are like, they use that and they're like, oh, I'm a producer now. But there's so much experience and knowledge it takes to get proper sound, a proper mic placement, proper room acoustics. There's so many different steps to getting proper audio. And again, it's the experience to come to a studio with the people that you meet and the environment and then the product ultimately.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about the future. You know, what's next for Pinnacle Pointe Studio? What are some of the cool things you guys have in the pipeline here?
We always got stuff going, and that's rule one. You know, we let people know something, but we can't let all our chips on the table.
Yeah.
Gotta keep some up your sleeve.
Oh, that's
We got a few things, connections. We're talking to a few other producers. We're actually talking to other major studios. I got some friends down in Florida, and Vegas also too. And then we've been meeting so many different people, connecting. And like I said, we got the drawing board out, and we're just kind of just keep on putting it. And the goal is to grow, and get even more connections and things like that. But right now we're leaning towards a lot of video. So we've been getting a lot of phone calls for video, and so that's another big thing that we're looking into right now. That's another investment. So we're trying to get some backing for that and things like that. Add that to the facility. But that's really big. But we got a lot of stuff that's on the table.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of it. Sorry, I cut you off. But in this industry, it's really tough because we're working with people, but at the same time, in this industry, you got to keep a lot of stuff on low key because some people don't want their business out there either.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And so, but there's a lot cooking, and we're gonna keep growing. If somebody else have any ideas for us or bring them to us, you know, let's connect. Let's connect.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and we always kind of feel like the studio is one piece of a bigger puzzle too. It's all something that interconnects with what other things we're looking into doing. But it's like I said, it's been nothing but a blessing, and it's been awesome, and the community support's been great, and the artists that we've worked with and future artists that we've worked with, it's just been a wonderful experience for everything.
Yeah, we just reinvest. You know, we both haven't took $1 from the studio.
Yeah.
We reinvest everything.
Yep.
It goes right back in.
That's why we've got a brand new 2019
Yeah.
setup.
Yeah, because it costs money. We got rent to pay, and there's programs we got to pay for, and this and that, and there's a lot to it. But when you get, you know, like I said, we had a sponsor that helped us out. You know, they sponsored us, Catalyst. You know, they helped us out with some stuff, and it goes a long way. We have some other people too that helped us out. We just Family Freedom Center. They helped us out. We did event.
Yeah, that was a big event here. We hosted the mayor, where we had the mayor come here through their event. But it was through LISC. We went to a business class. He put me in a business class just to make connections again. And we met so many people just from that event. So many branches of a web from just that one event, which is amazing. And then they were actually the hosts, and they actually rented the space. They came in here, and we had a wonderful event. I think we had almost 150 people. You guys came to that.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And it was really, really awesome to meet so many different people. And we got a lot of good publicity from that too, and that also helped. But just from one class, we just met so many people. We also met our connection through the Catalyst, one of the students there. We also met somebody that he makes guitars. He's based in Grand Marais. He was one of the students there. Makes beautiful handcrafted instruments.
Hey, but we still got them in there, right?
Yeah.
Before you guys leave, we gotta see that. It's hand carved stuff. That's really good. And the name of that program was Creative Startups.
Creative Startups Duluth.
In Duluth.
Yeah. Creative Labs. It was a very great experience for me because I got to meet so many people and just interconnecting, which is a wonderful thing. And just the stories that were being told, it was very, very awesome to see that. And yeah, it was a great experience.
So if people want to know more about you, or they want to find out more information, how do they do that? Where do they find you guys at?
We're at pinnaclepointstudios.com. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Pinnacle Pointe Studios. Point, it has an E on it. That's how we kind of distinguish ourselves from other brands that are out there. I was when I came up originally, when we came up with this concept, we were looking for a logo that also meant something for us too. And I feel like Pinnacle Pointe Studios, like when you spell a point, you know, a lot of like real estate companies have that because it refers to a mountain. So I feel like Pinnacle Point, we're getting to a top or a point, you know, a journey to the top. So I feel like that kind of incorporated the business. So again, we're on pretty much all social medias. We're also going to be launching our YouTube channel here as well, Pinnacle Pointe Studios.
So there's some content coming out we haven't released yet, but we're gonna be releasing some stuff here soon. So we're just kind of waiting because we got permissions and all that stuff and all that good stuff. But we have some stuff coming out really soon here for you guys on YouTube and things like that. So
awesome.
You know.
And would you guys be open to networking with any of our viewers or listeners?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Or networking is again, going back to it, networking is a big thing, and meeting people and interconnecting with people is huge. So yeah, we're always open to meet. We can always have time to have people come in and talk. We have actually on our website, we can actually send people direct links to meetings. There's a free consultation studio tour. So we can, you know, check out what they're looking to do. We actually recommend that before we actually bring anybody in to record, just to see what they're looking to do as far as their music, what genre they're into, and then what's their timeline. And it's a good way to just meet with people. So people can always book on there. It's free consultation on Pinnacle Pointe Studios on the booking tab.
Yeah, it's a good way for us to connect and feel that vibe. Because there's some people you're just not going to vibe with, you know. Yeah. And I lived here for, you know, just like everybody else lived here for some years. I think we all lived for many years. So we kind of know everybody kind of got their thing going on and this and that too. But sometimes we come across people who just negative, you know, and we just keep ourselves away from anything negative. We're all positive vibes here. And we just keep it moving and take all the ideas and try to use them best as we can. You know?
I got you. Well, I really appreciate you guys sitting down with us and providing your space for us to record this recording.
Yeah, yes, we want to thank you two for coming out, Alex and Matthew, for coming out and interviewing us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Building the dream, Duluth.
Building the dream is wonderful to see you guys grow. And it's been awesome, and I've been following you guys for quite some time now, and it's been good to see how you guys connect and how you guys are growing the business community. It's wonderful to see. So thank you again for letting us. Do
yes, and thank you. And for those who's watching, definitely check out their podcast. These guys know all the big dogs in town too, so they ain't doing this just for fun. They ain't doing this. They got business in here too. You know?
No, thanks guys. It is super cool to sit here in front of a mic with a headphone on, with headphones on.
All right.
So I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.